Hey, what's up, everybody? Ryan Groth here, and welcome to my new podcast, the Sales Athlete Podcast. This is where I provide insights on sales, growth, leadership, team building. The trades are my specialty, but I'll be talking about all kinds of other things as well. This is just where I get deep. This is where I talk for a long time about things that are on my mind, things that are going to help you grow through my experience, along with my encounters with customers from over the thousands of companies I've dealt with over the years, over a decade in the trade, speaking on the circuits and being a thought leader across the industry. I'm just going to be sharing just brass tacks information, and hopefully the truth that's authentic will resonate with you and will help you grow, because I'm all about growth. My last name may be pronounced Groth, but I'm all about growth. And that's what this is going to be about. So I'm super stoked that you're hanging out with me. Welcome to this video or this podcast, and let's dive right in. So just a quick background on me, because for those of you who don't know me, my mom and stepdad did have a contracting business, and I was part of this kind of mom and pop scenario. And I envisioned maybe, taking over the family business with them one day. But I loved sports, and I became an athlete in high school more seriously, and then took athletics as far as I could. And I actually played junior college, Division I baseball. I was multiple scholarships, and I got drafted twice, once by the Pirates and once by the Angels. I did sign with the Angels, and I did play with them in their minor league system, and I've continued on and played some independent ball, and decided to retire and focus on what was next, which I wanted to start a family. So now at this point, I'm 38 years old. I've had this business for 7 years. It's called STG. I founded it 7 years ago. We're a sales training and coaching company. In a nutshell, we just help teams sell better. And we've helped sold about $20 million of coaching and training revenue over that 7 years. And yeah, we're just getting warmed up. I feel like we just got a good foundation, and we're going to crush. And we're going to continue to make a huge impact by creating value. And that's a big reason why I have this podcast out here and these videos, is to give the best content I can and create a lot of goodwill in the marketplace, so that when I do ask you to come to do something, you're like, cool, this would be great, because I know this is super valuable. So my goal is to flood and inundate everybody with the best content possible, that would help them grow their business, grow their families, and help them sell more, sell better, and build great companies. So super stoked you're hanging out with me. How I got into this was, after baseball was over, I was looking for what was next, and I was in like on a church community hangout, and I was looking around at different people who might be where I want to be, and I saw a guy who is a friend of mine who has had a couple businesses, and I was just telling him, I'm like, bro, like I want to figure out how to make money. My wife and I are getting married, and I need to figure this out. In fact, we were pregnant at the time when I was chatting with him, and he goes, bro, why don't you get into sales? You're a competitor. You're a communicator. If I had met you with one of my other companies I'd hire you in a heartbeat. And being that my dad was not a business guy, he was more of a government technology employee, and my mom and stepdad had kind of the small mom and pop business. And then my grandparents, who were Christian missionaries, which I loved them and was considering doing that. And then the baseball route ended, and I didn't make it to the major leagues, and I wasn't like a famous baseball player who could retire. Um, I was like very wide open to what's next, and I didn't know anything about sales. And so I started to explore sales, and that's why I love sales. It changed my life. The game of sales, the sport of sales, it just it changed my life. And I started to explore opportunities, and I ended up networking and meeting a large roofing contractor. This large roofing contractor, I'll tell you all about him so you guys get a full download of my story. Um, was that he's in his 60s now. He just sold a private equity, a boutique firm. He's no longer in the business as of last year, but he's been in the industry for 40 something years. Um, my mentor, who got me in the game, was he had hired me. I was 27 years old. My son was just born, and I started with him 2 weeks after my son was born. And he had essentially done the first roll up of roofing companies in the roofing industry. He had hung out with Wayne Huizenga one day and got inspired to do what he did with waste management and do it in roofing. And so he actually had a gnarly journey doing that, but he did transact on 18 companies on one day. He raised a bunch of money, and he bought a bunch of companies, and he transacted on 18 in one day. He had done a tour where he was around the country, just, raising money, making pitches, meeting prospective contractors. And it was pretty powerful. It was called General Roofing, and he was the first, nationwide roofing platform that kind of took things to that next level. Well, he ended up getting kind of in a really challenging scenario with the investment bankers, and they did not allow him enough time to integrate those companies. So with their impatience and everything, they actually let him go. And it was really hard for him because of you know, just the opportunity, the money, all the upside that he was looking to have. And it was really gnarly for him. So he ended up kind of going back down to South Florida, which was home. And he built sorry, he bought a roofing company. And he bought this roofing company and that was kind of in a negative and it was just kind of making it. And it was a commercial roofing company and he bought it and it took him 2 years to turn it around, get his profitability. And, he took that and then through until about the recession of 2008, 2009, it took it to about 24,000,000 or 30, maybe a little bit north of that, 28. And, but he was very heavily focused on the new construction market. And so the new construction market was cyclical. It dried up during the recession, and he really couldn't cut overhead anymore to keep the business going. He had to sell his way out of it. That's when he discovered a sales training company. When he got sales training support, he actually started changing his personnel and then focused his company less on like being a bidding company and estimating and being technical in the way they sell, but sales competencies became the breakthrough. He started thinking about and training sales oriented people with a sales compensation plan that aligned with his goals. And he trained them on sales skills and sales competencies, and then he held them accountable. He started holding them accountable with the software. I came in 2008, 2009, he had to cut down and he got down to about 8,000,000. And when I came in 2013, I became part of their organization when they were on the upswing and they were already doing about 24,000,000. And so I was there for 4.5 years in their organization as an internal trainer and a part of their sales org, but then also took a software that he built for himself that was about holding people accountable and training and knowing pipeline and having a sales process. And we reinforce that culture of core values, of sales methodology, of training, of accountability, of knowing your numbers, of hitting goals, and leading with service in particular and growing service. And as service grew, the repair maintenance division, the replacement revenue would come, which is the larger jobs that had good margin that were negotiated and not a bid world scenario. So I saw and was very close, knew the technology, the culture, all the stuff, the lead generation, the branding strategies, and I was a part of that whole team. And, what I did was I would sell the software, and then I would sell this software to contractors who wanted to grow their sales, and I would sing this song of sales. I was basically fluent in sales, sales org development, and culture shift, and process, and training, and coaching every single day. Like, every single meeting, I'd take the lead, I'd get the lead, I'd generate the lead, I'd speak on stages, network, I'd go, I'd travel, I'd get them to the demo, I'd sell them on the vision of what would it look like to be a part of the platform and use the technology and have a better sales org. And then I would find that people needed bigger help. So I started coaching and consulting and providing comp plans and org charts recommendations and sales leadership compensation plans and assessments and sales training and sales documents and sales process and sales playbooks. So I started doing that. And I started doing that for all of our clients. And they started to like really spend a lot of money on it. And so I would test the market, see what they would take. And I found myself having a really fun model, but I was basically a CRM company with a bunch of coaching that people did and enjoyed, but I liked that more. And after trying to do both for a while, I just, for the betterment of the company and for the identity of the company, we decided to, we all agreed to focus on technology. So the coaching hat that I put on for a while, I put down. And what happened was, I found that that was what I really enjoyed the most was like training, coaching, bringing that athletic mindset, that culture shift, my communication skills. I found that that was my thing. And so I was like, let's party, dude. Let's do this. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be when I grow up. This is how I want to make an impact in the world. This is how I want to make money because I feel like I can create bigger value as a consultant, trainer, and coach than a CRM guy. I'm not like I don't code. I don't do that. And I didn't have the actual talent to do that myself, and, I needed to hire people, so the things that I felt like I can control in the journey entrepreneurially was that. When I also got exposed to the outside sales training that, we had originally subscribed to before I became the internal sales champion, And my gosh, like that changed my life because we talked a ton about the content that they had. And I was like, wow, you can learn training and learn a system to methodically, predictably grow your sales. This is so cool. And for somebody who didn't grow up in business and didn't have that exposure, I was hooked. I'm like, this is the sport I want to play. So I started to do some more research and I saw the law of diffusion and innovation. And I saw that technology and best practice sharing was something that I should look at the industries and say, who are the innovators, early adopters, early majority, early adopters, and late majority laggards? Who are those people? And I was like, well, roofers and contractors is who I should focus on because they aren't not all adapting compared to other industries as fast as other industries. So what I should do is focus on them. So I did. I focus on the roofing community. And so I've been in this roofing community since 2013. I've been a part of, almost every event you can think of and either spoken at it or sponsored and been a part of what they've done. And so it's been really cool to see the change in the industry. And so I've just basically found that when I beat this drum of best practice, mindset, sales methodology, sales org development, I can make a big difference because when you have salespeople selling, you're keeping the pipeline full, the backlog of work is full. And if you're doing a great job at that at a high level with high margins, predictably and consistently with the right strategy and the right culture, then they're able to keep crews on, right? And if they do that more efficiently, they actually make money. And if they make money and they care about building a business locally at that level and doing it right, they're actually going to have resources to help the community and give back and then have better livelihoods for their families and all these other cool things that could happen. In addition to that, people are selling now, clients of ours are selling to private equity groups because they're finding private equity is finding that the roofing industry is still very fragmented and it's changing super fast. So there's tech coming in, private equity coming in. And so there's going to be a bigger need for sales training and coaching. And that's why we're here. So I've been doing that for a while. That's a bit of my background. And now in 2025, we served 800 companies. We've sold 20 million in training and coaching. So that's about a $25,000 average lifetime value per customer. That's still pretty par for the course. And yeah, it's a super fun journey. So this podcast is going to be all about me sharing insights on how to sell better, how to get your team to sell better, and how to make more money, and how to do it in a way that's super connected and authentic from your heart and gets rid of all the BS and all the stuff that people even today view contractors as, which is unscrupulous and not solid and not full of integrity. I'm out to change that. I'm out to make contractors the most attractive place to work. And I can tell you that if you have a good selling system and your salespeople are selling and you're firing like stallions galloping into the wild ocean or wild open meadows and they're just firing on all cylinders and everyone's winning, it's going to be a really great thing for the owners, for the salespeople, for the crews, for the people, for the marketing, for the technology. Everything's going to be better. And I'm on a mission to continue to help teams sell better and make more money. And that's going to be fun. So, yeah, I'm excited for you guys to be hanging out with me and checking out the Sales Athlete podcast. Um, Quick kind of practical lesson for today. So, um, you guys may know this, but we all have 168 hours in a week, period, right? We all have the same amount of time. And we're either doing something that's sales and revenue generating or non-sales and non-revenue generating activities, period. And if you think about the time that you spend with sales revenue generating activities, you have to do those um, you have to do those really well. And if you don't do those well and you don't do those often and consistently, you're actually not making the sales, you're not generating the revenue. And then it's even worse when you're not spending your time doing that, you're doing something else. It's actually going to be a decline in your salesmanship, your sales activity. The reality is, every single time you sell something, you're working yourself out of a job. When you sell that $20,000 re-roof job or that HVAC unit job or whatever it is you're selling, you're immediately trying to work yourself out of a job. So you have to constantly be increasing the volume, quality, and quantity of your pipeline. And you have to become incredibly effective at velocity in your pipeline and making it better. Period. So really simple practical steps. Okay. Really simple practical steps. You have 168 hours in a week. Okay. And we can do a couple things. Sales behaviors that will generate revenue are things like calls, making outbound calls, receiving an inbound call. If you're, in any sense of the word, able to post, So posting on social media, posting content, this is going to help you generate interest and generate demand. I can tell you if you put something valuable out in the marketplace that helps people achieve a desire or solve a pain point and create a distance between that current agitated state and future desired state, you're going to generate interest. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, those types of things, trying to sell more projects, guys, like you need to post, and the people need to know that that's what you do. It's going to be great. Also, meetings. Not meetings for the sake of meetings, but meetings with prospects or current clients to expand revenue. If you want to expand client share with existing clients, it's 5 times less expensive to get business from an existing client than it is to find a new one. It's 5 times easier. So asking for referrals and having meetings with existing clients to expand your network, or have meetings with prospective clients. Your time, if you have all this time in a week, should be focused on that. Also, emails. So you have outbound email, you have response to prospective emails to close deals. Loom videos are also great in the event that you can't close a deal in person. Loom videos are really great to enhance, create value in the sales process, and the sales motion, and for follow ups that are really helpful. They don't always work, and they're not nearly as good as in person meetings to negotiate, but they're better than not having them at all. Um, we call them discos, but discovery meetings. So that would be a meeting with a prospective client where you're asking questions, hitting milestones, getting their compelling reasons to buy, understanding their cost of not doing it right the first time, the cost consequences, the emotions attached to that, the qualification status, if they're committed, if they identify and understand the solution, and they know that's what you want, if you're with the decision maker or decision makers, if you know their timeline, you know what they care about before you present an offer, and you make sure they're fully bought in, 10 out of 10, to do this and do it right and do it now before you present a solution. That's a discovery and qualification. Also, estimating, right? You want to estimate only to qualified opportunities, right? Only that are those that are qualified. Estimating, which is putting a price of what it would take to do the job, and then coming up with a proposal and presenting. So prezos would be a presentation, and then you have follow-ups. To me, a follow-up is a clear, mutually agreed upon next step meeting, not necessarily just a follow-up text or a follow-up call. You could do that. And just a quick bonus, during the process, if you have inbound leads, if you want to increase show rate and not just come across as spamming, take a video of yourself and send an actual video. Hey, I'm a human being, Bob. Yeah, let's connect. Okay. So the other one that I want to show you is on the other side of the spectrum, which is non-sales revenue generating activities. So things like too much research or time with unqualified opportunities or unproductive meetings or, water cooler time or, hanging out with your friends and not really moving the needle. You can spend, if you want to get your sales career firing, spend all your time in the week on sales revenue generating activities. Find some time to sleep, to work out, to take care of your health and have some social needs, sure. But when you back out of that, you realize that 40 hours is not that much time. And especially if 40 hours is not spent on this type of time, you're going to be wasting your time, utterly wasting your time. So salespeople, whether you're commercial and home sales, door-to-door sales, B2B sales, I don't give a rip what sales you're in. Spend your time on revenue generating activity and not wasting your time on those that are non-revenue generating activities. You're going to be, I'm telling you, A players who know how to do this and stay disciplined are 5 to 10 to sometimes 20 times more effective and do more output and create more results than people who don't know how to do this and they're hanging out over here too much. You're on the wrong side of the line. You have this much time. And if you do that and do it right, you're going to crush. And then, you give yourself a chance when you're over here. You give yourself a chance because then you have mindset, sales process, tonality, questions, all those things that come in this moment. You can actually coach and get people doing that. But if you're of a company and people aren't even doing this, like all the coaching in the world is not going to be able to help them if they're not even in the freaking game, right? Get them in the game, locked in, optimize their time for this, offload and delegate things that aren't going to contribute to that. And they're going to make more money and make you more money. So anyway, that's that. And that's pretty much all I got. So, I'm gonna have a ton more episodes for you. I'm gonna be doing these very often, and you guys can expect a lot of value to come from this. But yeah, share this with somebody. I have the little bit of history in the background, but also just something practical. How to spend your time. Revenue generating, sales generating activities versus non. We have 168 hours in a week. Let's use your time smartly and use it wisely so you can go make some money and make your company money and everybody's happy. I'm telling you, it's super painful and annoying and costly and frustrating when people are doing the wrong things. And the wrong thing starts with how you spend your time. So salespeople, go sell some more stuff, spend time doing stuff that's going to generate sales and give yourself a chance. That's all I got. So, hey, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. You can expect a lot more from the Sales Athlete podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Groth. Peace out.